in very rough parts of the world. A human eye, I might dispute an earlier comment, is nowhere near as sophisticated as modern millimeter wave radar, infrared cameras that can detect a tenth of a degree difference in signatures between water and floating objects. So frankly, I think they need unmanned aerial systems that can stay on site a lot longer and would help them narrow false hopes for pieces that they find from low quality satellite images.
Arthur, greater specificity in a possible search area.
It would in my mind, yeah.
All right, Rick, you think, though, this piece of debris, as David posited there, you think it may just simply be too big to get excited about, some 73 feet by over 40 feet?
Well, I didn't really comment on the size. There was another comment earlier about the size. I'm certainly not an expert at looking at satellite photos and the kind of terrain with the wave action, the sea states, and those other pieces. But I guess my point was I wouldn't solely function on one piece of debris with my entire search team. I would certainly look along both arcs based on the ping. It's not unusual to have engineers and lawyers disagree about where to look for things. I like to base it on science and the available data. And the available data from the satellite is fairly reliable. The ping is awful reliable for determining an arc where something may have flown. I would go on either side of that arc based on sea state down in the sea you're examining, and I go along that arc up along looking for radar data and pull tapes over a 7 to 8 hour period for some of these countries. You will find, though, that because of the air defense mission, many of these organizations will not release data to show you, one, how good their radar is, or two, how poor it is, and whether or not it's properly maintained and actually works.
Daniel Rose, you served in the Navy, you were a naval aviator, you were involved in searches, maybe not of this scale, but that may actually be pertinent here. You were involved in searches in some ways that may not have been nearly as complicated, and you say they were still now. Do you think investigators will find this plane?
Boy, that's a tough one. I personally don't believe you're going to find it where you're looking for it.
You think they need to change the search area altogether?
I think simultaneously we should be looking to the north. I think it's the opinion that you need to go after one piece of material or two large pieces floating. There's tons of debris in the ocean. You're still having, for instance, things washing up on the west coast of the United States from a typhoon.
All right, I want to get Tom Fuentes' take. Do you think investigators will find this plane?
I agree.
Pointed out the utilization of space-based surveillance, which has been pitched both here in the United States to the FAA, Eurocontrol, and I know ICAO has a committee looking at it, but ICAO tends to spend a long time with committees and meetings. I'd like to point out that the transponder getting shut off, or apparently shut off, may or may not even be factual. We have no idea. I've seen no previous track data regarding the ability of any radar to read transponders in that particular part of the ocean. That's not unusual. In addition, ACARS being turned off may be completely normal. ACARS is a fee for service, and that company's located in Maryland, recently purchased by Rockwell Collins. You spend for every message you uplink. So having ACARS turned off in and of itself is not unusual. It would be nice to know if ACARS was continually used by Malaysian Airlines in this particular route, and I see no data to support any of that.